The Sunday Dinner Chef will make you feel fine. Sit down, let's have a drink and enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, how you doing? I am Tom, the Sunday Dinner Chef, and today my first guest on my new podcast for the Sunday Dinner Chef is John from Chef's Backyard. John, how you doing?
Hi, Tom. I'm doing great. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Yep. So what we're going to be doing here with this series is we're going to be talking about food. Okay.
I love food.
I mean, how we got into it, why we like it, and why we do what we do. Basically, is basically what I'm trying to do here. Keep it simple. For us guys, we love the grilling. We like to get in the kitchen, throw stuff around, and women too. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive a little bit into no trick questions or nothing like that, but we're going to dive into a little bit about John, his background, and what he likes. Okay, so John, if you want to give us a little back history, it'd be great.
Hey, Tom. Yeah, I've been cooking for a while, almost 30 years. I started as a bar back at a Bennigan's restaurant, and from there, I did that for a few weeks, maybe a couple of months, and transitioned back into the kitchen. They needed a dishwasher. I needed money, so I started washing dishes, and from there, just kind of started learning about prep and worked my way up the line from prep and the pantry chef, making salads and desserts, and went over to fry, and then started running the line as the broil cook, and we did burgers and pastas and all kinds of stuff. And after that, I went and started working with a new concept with a grocery store called H-E-B, and we were doing prepared foods in the store, preparing them for people to take home and take for lunch and dinner and stuff like that. And a few years after that, I went down to Central Market, which is H-E-B's gourmet line, kind of like what Whole Foods is. And we had a huge production kitchen downstairs, running 3 shifts a day. And just learned all aspects of cooking from scratch, making everything from scratch. It really was a scratch kitchen concept, and I did that for almost 10 years, and then made some moves in the company and went to help with their demo program. And then they had another concept where they were doing cooking demos in the middle of the grocery store. So I had a little kitchen in the middle of the grocery store, and we had a set of spices and sauces. And I had to wear a little over-the-ear microphone, and so I was the guy calling you over for samples. And just really at that time, just fell back in love with food and cooking. And the goal there was to try to make simple recipes that the customer could go home and recreate. So no fancy techniques, no nothing else. I learned in that job the power of seasonings and the power of technique, right? If I could give that customer a little bit of technique, then they could go home and turn, whatever their protein is into a great meal for their family. And I had to give them steps, recipe instructions on how to recreate it, every time.
Right.
And during that time, H-E-B opened up a culinary center, hired some world-class chefs as our deans for the program. And along the way, I earned my culinary level 1, culinary level 2, certified food manager. I earned a wine certification, a nutrition certification, and became a dedicated recipe author for HEB.com. So we were submitting recipes, and it was just a whole lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, people, you stop and think about it when people say, well, you talk about food because, you're a chef or anything like that. It's not that. I mean, I started when I was 12 years old with a hot dog wagon.
Yeah.
Okay. And through high school, I flipped burgers. I also washed dishes. I started at that. We have basically the same, concept of how to get started. I just can't get away from food.
Yeah.
I mean, food and music is what I like. You know what I mean? So, and that seems to brings everybody together with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me
So,
too. I mean, food nourishes the body, and music nourishes the soul. You know.
yeah, yeah. We my family we had a rock actually had a rock and roll club. Let's stop and think about that. So, my brother's the oldest, and I was the youngest. And at that time, they lowered the drinking age to 18.
All
Okay,
right.
so playing in a band, playing the drums and stuff, playing in a band, we opened up this. He wanted to make it an Italian restaurant. And I said, well, hold on a minute, we're Irish. What? It's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? So what we did was we turned it in. I started bringing bands and stuff in, and this place took off. Twisted Sister. We had a lot of. He had a good run. I was only there for a while, and then I sort of backed out of it. But then always working in the kitchen and stuff. Not to be doing too much with me, but we got into the food business, and he said, "What do you think about seafood? Let's do it." So we jumped into it, seafood, steaks, and stuff like that, and then they just skyrocketed from there. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Yeah, but 7 days a week, 16, 20 hours a day. Uh,
Yes, sir.
it takes a toll on somebody after a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So, I know you're a spokesman for Monument Grills, and matter of fact, John and I are going to be on March 18th and 19th. We'll be out here at the convention center here in Las Vegas, and we will be demonstrating some of Monument Grill's. I guess the Denali we'll be working with. I would imagine.
Yeah, they haven't disclosed which models they're going to bring or send out, and but they did talk about the Denali, and the Denali has that nice hot sear zone, right?
Mhm.
So that'll be perfect for our demos.
Yeah. So we're gonna get together and we're gonna showboat a little bit. We're gonna show our skills and we're gonna work together and come on down if you're out in the area. Please stop by. I believe our booth is going to be numbered 5811, I believe, and so it'll be a big sign for Monument Grills, and you'll see us there. We'll be slapping some steaks around, I guess.
Yeah, be excited to meet you.
Yeah. So getting back to how you started and everything else like that. Was there any deviation from what you were doing, or was it just the goal to keep on moving and keep uh, putting food out?
The goal for me became one of really getting back to the basics of cooking, right? I forgot to mention that as a young boy, I learned how to cook over live fire in the Boy Scouts. We would go camping, and we had live fire cooking, and we had to make dinner and or lunch and breakfast, for everybody in the camp, and plan those menus and go buy the groceries and all that kind of stuff, right? So it started, when I was like 11 or 12 years old as well. And then as I kind of wanted to learn more about the professional kitchen, I got to a point where there was a big movement for farm to table cooking, right? And so during that time, I really wanted to get back to more, I guess, old school recipes or heritage recipes. What are where did our kind of modern foods come from? How did they evolve? Where did they start? And really, with that, I got involved with the local group of chefs here, and we would go and help each other. We would plan community events, the chef cooperatives. We would do big city events and hold live fire cooking
Yeah.
demonstrations. And we had booths at the farmer market, and a bunch of those guys launched their own products, and we're selling them in stores and in big retailers. And I kind of found my tribe, so to speak, right? And so with that, I knew that I still know that I want to bring more products to the table, right? In the past, I've had spice blends. I think it's time to kick those back up. I had a coffee. And I knew that with my training for the recipe author thing, that cookbooks would be an option, right? So um, I published one, and hopefully there will be more to come. And but really, just what 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 are the key flavor uh, makers in a recipe was kind of my goal through that. And I think that that's why part of my brand comes back to flavor formula.
Okay. So I must let everybody know that excuse me, John does have a cookbook, and we're gonna push it up here today, and check it out. And John, why don't you explain a little bit of how anybody can get a hold of it? I will leave a link in the description box of what and how and where to get it from. But if you can elaborate a little bit on it.
Yeah, so it's available right now on Amazon.com. And the name of the book is Flavor Formula 25 Recipes to Turn You into a Grill Master. Um, and it actually has more than 25 recipes. There's some helpful tips and tricks. And part of the idea of the book came from the partnership with Monument Grills. I knew that I was going to be making a lot of grilling recipes. And so, being a busy guy, I wanted to make a book of easy recipes for people to follow.
Cool, very good. And the idea with people, what I'm trying this Sunday dinner chef, what I have here is my had nothing to do with. I always have the keto channel, and no sugar, low carbs, and stuff like that. I get a lot of pushback on that because there's still a lot of naysayers and stuff. This channel is from when I was cooking in the restaurants. Okay,
Yeah.
these are my recipes, and it's old. Sunday when I was growing up was a big deal for me because I was the youngest of five. Okay,
Yeah.
and watch my mom prepare Sunday dinner for aunts, uncles, and my four siblings, myself, my dad, my grandmother, and what she would put together and put out for a Sunday dinner was like phenomenal.
Yeah.
And this little lady would get and slap things around and how she seasons stuff and everything. That was always intriguing to me. So that's hence the Sunday dinner chef that's my day to relax. I'll I'll put together a meal, my wife and I, or have the kids together, whatever, and do it that way. But it's traditional, but adding your own seasoning to it, changing it up a little bit. Okay, not to be that strict with it is basically where I am at with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Not to make it. Well, here you definitely have to follow this recipe to get A, B to get C results. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
So it may rely a little more on technique, right,
right,
than specifics of measurements. As long as you're doing the right technique at the right time, adding the ingredients at the right time, you'll get great results, right?
sure. And you had mentioned before when you started out with open flame cooking, open fires. That in itself is very tricky.
Oh yeah,
you know, even with charcoal and lump charcoal and stuff like that. Hey, growing up as a kid, I thought the taste of lighter fluid was barbecue sauce. Yeah, my, my
uh,
dad would douse it, light it, and throw stuff on it. It was still burning. I mean, wow.
yeah. My dad used to like to smoke chicken over the weekends, and when I mean over the weekends, I mean he would start at like 9 or 10 in the morning, getting the fire going, and the smoked chicken wouldn't be ready until 11 o'clock at night. And it was dried out, and man, I can remember being I'm ready to eat, I'm hungry, and she's like, your dad is cooking chicken. I'm like, can you tell him to hurry up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the good old days, you know.
Yeah.
Even with today's techniques and stuff like that. I mean, uh, I watch a lot of cooking shows, barbecue, whatever. Okay, and watch people's different techniques of how they doing things, and to me, uh, learning you don't know everything. Okay, so you're always learning of different
Yes.
different ways of doing things. This channel here, we do a lot of collaborations, cooking from around the world. All right,
Cool.
like Yemen, Portugal, all different types of places. The food's different, but it's similar.
Yeah.
You understand? You know, what I mean, what I'm trying to say here. I mean, some of the spices and stuff like that. Like Mexico, you would have a taco, flour tortilla. All right. Yemen, you would have a flatbread.
Yeah.
The same concept. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But different, little bit of different spices. Now, if you combine them all together, I think you got a home run with it. So that's why I'm so intrigued with this.
Yeah.
Um,
That's awesome.
with cooking and stuff like that. What's your favorite thing to cook, John?
I'm kind of known for my steaks. That's what I've been hired a lot for. over the years is to get in there and do a whole bunch of steaks. We do weddings for 300, 350, community events of 700 plates. It's all plated, and pushing it out, right? So you've got tight timelines and parameters, and the food has to be perfect, on point every time. So
Yeah,
that's what I've been good at. But I like to cook everything. I like to eat, and I like a variety of foods.
I lately at home I've been getting back into it, making a lot more pastas and stuff like that at home. I'm not supposed to be doing it because of keto, but I'm mixing both things together. It's funny because I don't show myself eating it, okay? But you'll see me, I'll twist the spaghetti and I'll take it away from the camera and put it over my shoulder. My wife takes a bite of it.
Yeah, right
Yeah,
on.
just to keep it, not being too involved with the keto stuff. But what I like, we had a seafood restaurant, so we would go through 200 pounds of lobster a day.
Wow.
We did prime ribs, filet mignon, New York strips, and ribeyes. But back then, John, ribeyes were fatty piece of meat. Don't eat that. Okay.
Yeah.
So I would cut them up thin, and they were like the cheapest thing on the menu. Boy, how times have changed.
Right.
You
Right.
know. So we were full bore into seafood, shrimp, oysters, clams, all different types of combinations and stuff like that. But the lobster and the prime rib were the force to be reckoned with.
Wow.
Yeah, and if I told you the prices, you would fall off your chair. Uh, a stuffed whole lobster was $8.99.
My goodness.
Okay,
And
a full
where were you at what part of the country were you guys at?
in New Jersey on the East
New
Coast.
Jersey.
Yeah,
Okay.
and and then the prime rib was $12.99.
My goodness.
But that was bone to bone cut. I mean, it was just
Yeah. Wow.
full whole whole thing in there.
Oh,
So times have changed. Times have really have changed. So
yeah, you can't even buy it at the grocery store for that for 12.99.
no,
I'm buying steaks like $25 a piece here. For a single ribeye, and man, it's
I had somebody contact me and say, "Hey Tom, if there's an Albertsons out by you, go out there to have uh, what do you call it, ribeyes on sale for $6.99." I ran out there and we got four in a pack for like $26 for the four of them. Bone in, bone off, bone in, that type of thing.
nice.
So I got them and we savored them
Yeah, yeah.
to cook them. So I know you do a lot with Monument, and that company has come a long way. I mean, it really stepped up the game a little bit as far as with gas grills, uh, and they do have like pellet grills also, right?
They did a small run on pellet grills, but that was right before I got affiliated with them. And as of right now, I don't know what their innovation is going to be for spring of 25. But I know at the end of last year they were um, saying that they didn't have any plans to do a pellet grill for the remainder of 24. But I think it would be neat if they could do a grill and then kind of have a little hopper with a little smoke thing, so that way you could have your pellets, uh, and kind of get a continuous feed of smoke through the grilling process as well.
Yeah.
But who knows?
I mean, they have sent me out a 22-inch griddle.
Oh, nice.
Great, well built, very well built. I was very impressed with it.
Yeah.
How their stuff was, and watching your videos, watching you cook on this and that, and I don't care what anybody says. Okay, you can get some die hard, barbecue, pit masters, you want to call them that. Most of them do have a gas grill.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think nothing is going to be as good as a stick burner, right? I mean, live fire cooking is the king of that. But we're busy people. I don't know. I mean, you sound like you're a busy guy. Got a lot of gigs going on. I'm a busy guy. I've got a family of 5 here, and when I want to cook, I don't want to spend 2 hours out there tending the flame, tending the fire, collecting the lumber, all that stuff. I want to get in and get out, man. And so that's one of the things that I love about the Monument grills is that they're consistent. They've got great heat dispersion in there, similar to a professional kitchen that I cooked in. So
Mhm.
but I'm doing it in my backyard at home, and you can add the smoke box element and add a live fire cooking element to it while you're grilling, and have dinner in under an hour, and that's kind of my mission.
And see, that's what I used to do with my. I'm not going to mention because we're talking about Monument and stuff like that. But the gas grill that I had was a high end gas grill. But I would also put my wood chips into a either tin foil would poke some holes in it or whatever,
Yeah,
or a coffee can burn the paint off it first, and then
yeah,
you know poke holes in that, and put the chips in there to get the smoke on it. It's possible. It's doable. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And just watching some of their stuff. I mean, that grill is unbelievable. Now with the two sear stations on them, they got on there.
Wow.
And then I was like rocked a little bit when I seen the pizza stone
Yeah,
that fit
yeah.
on there. Whoa,
Super cool,
you
right?
know. So I said that's right up my alley, right there.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
kind of stuff. So I getting back to your passions and stuff like that with cooking and stuff. Uh, any other items that you really like to get into it, or new um, infusions and stuff like that
In terms of what?
of what you like to cook? Just to I'm going to try this. Let me try to put this together.
Oh yeah, totally. I have books like the Flavor Bible and other cookbooks that really kind of help to pair flavors together, give you kind of new ideas on cooking. I have a lot of international cookbooks, and that was one of my goals with the flavor formula
Here you go.
was to kind
Hold
of
that there for a minute, John. I'm going to see if I can get you a little closer with this. Oh, wrong guy.
let's see. So yeah, with the flavor formula, I wanted to take you beyond just the basics of grilling, right? In other words, I feel like almost anybody can throw a burger or a hot dog on the grill, but how do we enhance the flavor of things? So we've got some different international sort of recipes there. Uh, grilled veggies with tzatziki. Getting you to kind of go around the world and experience flavors from outside of your neighborhood.
Cool. Let me move this. And the idea of when people start talking about different brands and stuff, or different flavors. There you go, pizza on the grill.
There's even a section with different pizza on the grill. So yeah,
The the total play on people think, well, if you have a grill, you can just do burgers, hot dogs, and stuff like that. It's a total different animal. I mean, what you can cook inside, you can actually cook outside, and sometimes even better. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I love turning it into a little convection oven and get that temperature dialed in and let something roast in there or braise or
Hmm.
all of that kind of stuff. It's possible.
Yeah, sure is. Sure is. I had when I lived in Florida, I had a setup that was uh, second to none. I mean, I had a small Kamado Joe. I actually, my wife used to hate me. I would go out in my golf cart, ride around. I come back with, I would rescue grills. So I would take like an old broil or whatever, and I made that into a deep fryer
Love it.
with a burner on it. I also, I used to do a lot of Oriental cooking, infusion in one of the restaurants that I worked at, and I took a course on cooking with a wok. Okay, there's
Cool.
so many different ins and outs with that. Okay, and
Yeah.
to this day, I can't get my stove because I moved from a regular house. I'm in an apartment now out in Las Vegas, and there's certain rules you can and can't do. I have electric smoker on the balcony, but that's about as far as I can go. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm always looking to up the game a little bit, as far as with wok cooking and stuff. So if Monument, if you listen, that would be nice to put a nice burner on the side for a wok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of them have a 12,500 BTU side burner. Those things kick out some flame. If I had like a nice what are they, carbon steel, a nice
Hmm.
carbon steel wok.
Yep.
I could do it. I have one that I bought for inside a wok, but it's more of a coated one. It's got a real nonstick coating on it, and I actually enjoy really cooking on it. It's
Yeah.
nice because I've treated it real tenderly, so the nonstick is still real good. But yeah, I could see the doing some wok cooking on the side burner with that Monument grill.
Yeah. They make a nice little cradle for it to hold it up and keep the flame up on there.
Oh yeah,
That that or
a wok
either
cradle.
on the other side, make a compartment or something like that for a pizza oven.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
so maybe we should be designers for
Yeah,
monument, right?
that's it. One of the things that they do is every year they'll send out an email asking for what features are you looking for in our next models. So it's pretty cool to watch those become implemented.
Yeah, yeah. So right now, as I'm dealing with both channels and stuff like that, uh, my next goal is, being that food prices are so crazy, is to make food in a different way, keep it sort of a budget. Are you run into that same problem?
Oh yeah, man. Those are some of the requests that I get on my channel. Is customer or viewers want to know how much does this cost? How can I do it cheaper? What budget ideas do you have? So I think you're right in the vein of what people are looking for. And
I go to. I wish we had an HEB out here, but we don't. There's one place out here for active chefs and commercial cooks and stuff like that. You have to be a member. It's almost like a membership type of stuff there. But their food's through the roof also. I mean, I'm listening to a lot of people complain about it.
yeah, and then being in Vegas, everything's got to be shipped in, and
Yeah.
so
So I do a lot of seafood on my channel, and people say, "Well, you're using frozen fish, and you're using frozen stuff." I'm in a desert, you
yeah,
know.
but a lot of times it's frozen at the peak of
Yeah,
usability, and so it stops it right there. And whenever you thaw it out or are ready to use it, you're at its best part of life.
yeah. I have no complaints with it whatsoever. But you know yourself. You get a lot of naysayers about what's going on. So
If they really knew what went on behind behind a lot of their favorite kitchens, and how much of that is par baked, par cooked, par seasoned.
yeah, exactly, and that's the thing that I try to get across to people, that in what I used to do in the kitchen, you can make it home. That's the whole flair to it, like with the flavors and stuff. But there are people that do need that little extra push, and what you just showed with your book there, I mean, picture's worth 1,000 words, no matter how you add it up. You know what I mean? So
Thank you.
the different seasoning blends. Now I get everybody breaking my chops, but I use what they call Tommy spice. That's been doing that since I've been starting in the restaurant. Granulated salt, granulated pepper, granulated onion, granulated garlic. That's it. Equal parts in a shaker, and that's what I used all my life,
Nice.
seasoning up my food. So nicknamed it Tommy spice.
I love it.
So
Can customers buy that?
you know what? I never thought about doing that, John. I never really thought about that. Yeah, maybe give it a shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm getting to the point now in my life where it's okay. I'm good. You know? So,
Gotcha.
so now moving forward, what's in your future as far as Chef's Backyard and more books coming? And
Yeah, Chef's Backyard. So one of the thing over the last year and a half or two is I was contacted by some online agency that they put me on a list of online cooking schools. So I'm recognized as an online cooking school. And then really the way that Chef's Backyard got started was I needed to earn a little bit extra money. We had 3 kids, and uh, I needed to bring more to the table. So I took inventory of what I had and what I could do. And by training and by trade, I was a chef. With my house, I had a backyard, and I thought, in my backyard I can grow food and I can teach you how to cook food, and maybe we could even exercise. Well, I didn't get to the exercise part.
I got you. Oh boy, do I understand that one.
But we did. I talked my way into having a big hydroponic garden. It was a NFT system, and my goal with that was I was hoping to grow herbs and lettuces and sell them to my local restaurants. But then, there's always industry changes, right? And at that time, at that exact moment, they went from wanting hydroponically grown foods to wanting foods coming out of the dirt, and we want their roots and this and that. So uh, I didn't last too long with my gardening adventure, but I kept on going with the cooking part. I put up some gardening videos. You'll see in the very beginning of building the hydroponic system, and then a couple of cooking videos in my kitchen when my kids were real little, and then a couple of recipes in the backyard grilling. And the cooking videos started to take off, and I went with that. And over the years, I've made some great partnerships with some different companies, and just the future for me looks like writing a few more cookbooks. Hopefully, getting to do a like cooking 101 kind of series where this is boiling water, this is egg cookery, this is knife skills.
People don't realize how many people out there don't cook. I get a lot of blowback from me about you go too fast on your videos. You don't actually show everything. So I was to the point where especially with YouTube. What the hell I know about YouTube? You know what I mean? So in the beginning, I was explaining how I would lost 72 pounds, got my health back, and all that stuff like that, and what I was cooking for.
Yeah.
And then watching and broadening it out, watching other channels. All right, I never took it to, well, I'm better than this guy or that guy. I don't like it. That's not the way to go. All right, I just cooked, and everything I did was not from a box, not from a can. It was all fresh ingredients, and that's what I did. So I called it keto clean cooking. That's what
Yeah.
I'm doing with it now. But the pressure. Okay, I was doing 3 videos a week with
Wow.
this. That's what people think. And I'm saying, whoa, wait a minute. Okay. So now I started this channel a year ago, November. All right.
Right on.
And it took off.
Cool.
All right. But, how I just, it was more relaxed for me to do it and just showing, okay, this is how you cut garlic. Okay. This is how we're going to do this. And I got a lot of good feedback from it from people. And it's funny as hell because the people who watch me the most are from age 25 to 35.
Okay.
I'm thinking
Yeah,
a bunch of old geezers like me would be watching, but no.
no, it's those people that are, they're just starting out on their family journey, on their professional journey, and they're like, man, I can't afford to eat out every day, but I got used to restaurant food. I want to know how to do it. I want to peek behind the curtain, so to speak. And you're giving them a glimpse, and man, keep doing it. That's awesome.
I
I'm glad that they're watching and growing with you, right? Learning. So thanks, man.
so the other channel, like moving forward, I'm just doing my cooking, changing things up a little bit here and there. This channel, I'm going to get into a little bit more how to, and also doing herbs and stuff like that, and just keeping it on a relaxed mode side of it. Basically without an agenda, just want to cook. That's basically what I want to do with it. So, well, anything else you want to add to it, John? Or
Man, I just want to connect with people, and if they have cooking questions, maybe I can help. If they want to reach out and find out more about my book, I think you're gonna give them the link, right?
yes, I'm going to put the link.
I'd like to do a giveaway. They can
Oh, cool.
send me an email. Send me an email at chefsbackyard@gmail.com, and we'll do a cookbook giveaway, and I'll give away a couple of stickers too. How does
Cool.
that sound?
Excellent, excellent. And being that you're the first on the podcast, okay, I will post everything up on there, and I would love to have you come back because we are going to be getting together pretty soon, in a couple weeks,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
and maybe we'll do something from the site itself, real quick um, shorts and stuff like that, to put up on there.
I'd love
So
to.
Okay. Well, with that, John, thank you so much for doing this. I really do appreciate it, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Listen, everybody, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Sunday Dinner Chef podcast. Thank you.
The Sunday dinner chef will always care for you.